Welcome back, Bravehearts all over the world. It's an honor for me today to have Chastity Manos on the show, and today's show is called Drug Detox. Now, I want you to understand something. When we say drug detox, we are so programmed. We are programmed beyond belief. Because when we say drug detox, you think she's going to come on and we're going to usually talk about what? Oh, street drugs, because they're so bad. Meanwhile, street drugs, they actually take the lives of 100,000 people in the United States per year. And listen, that's not a good thing. I get it. But prescription drugs will take 300,000 lives, okay, per year. And just so you know this, just opioids alone took 100,000 people last year, took their lives. And every year, 20%, the opiate crisis is now climbing. And understand something. This is staged, and it's planned, and it's a strategy, okay, to get rid of the flame of the human spirit. And you can believe it or not believe it. Oh, God, there's Darryl Wolf or Dr. Wolf going off on a tangent. Oh, really? So you call 100,000 people just dying of one drug in a year a tangent. Yeah, that's right. That's how numbed out the majority of the population, totally numbed out. You know, I won't even talk to the majority of the population about anything that is truth or any depth, because they don't have the comprehension to actually process it. And I am not putting anybody down, because everybody out there is my brother and sister. We are all related because we were created by the same creator. But understand, when we talk about drug detox, what do you think I'm doing? What do you think I've been doing for 40 years? But I haven't been doing it for the first 20 years that much, because we weren't poisoned that much. But understand something. What do you think we're doing when we're trying to teach people how to actually eat, think, and drink right? We are doing a drug detox. Because understand something. If you want to go back 140 years, you'll find out that there was no cancer, there was no autoimmune diseases, okay, there was no crisis centers, there was no people living on the streets, there was no injection centers, there wasn't any of this. Oh, Darryl, calm down. I'm perfectly calm. But guess what? The war on drugs is coming from the government. It's coming from the big pharma, and it's coming from the food corporations. There you go. There's the story right there. So we're all druggies. I'm a druggie whether I like it or not, but guess what? I'm perfectly healthy. Yesterday, I actually did shows right up until, what time was it? I think it was 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's when I finished. And my yesterday started at 5:30. So even though they're trying to poison the air, the water, the food, they're never going to get me, because I'm conscious. And I've learned, if you have unconditional love for yourself, you're not a druggie. You're not a liar. Okay? You don't live in illusion. Okay? You know how to stay in the present moment. So understand something. What do I call myself? Doc of Detox. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to reprogram people. If we don't do it in the mind first, it'll never last here. Willpower runs out. And you talk to anybody that's addicted to drugs, and guess what? How many people know that Coke is one of the worst drugs, and it actually creates all kinds of cancers, and it takes people's lives. It's murdering people. Coke is murdering people. Pepsi's murdering people. Okay, I'm going to go and find it, okay? But I want you know those nanos that they talk about in the V thing? Well, guess what? They're in Coke and Pepsi. You didn't know that, did you? I got proof to show it, and it's not just some conspiracy. So understand something. It's like this. If you are so low vibrational that you're actually going to drink Coke, that was one of the most poisonous drinks you can put in your body, and you should see people. They'll carry a 2-liter Coke, okay, and they have a big smile on their face, because the actual additives and chemicals in here will cause you to smile more than your family will. And there's a drug addiction right there. But it's all drug addiction. You can go to the dentist. He's going to give you drugs he doesn't need to. You know, they control everything. Chastity, what's your view on this?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. They do control everything. And I just think sometimes it just takes hearing a different perspective. We got to take our power back. It takes just hearing a different perspective and hearing somebody say, hey, you know, if you're on this drug, you need to ask your doctor to get you off now, or you need to try to come off now. I had some people reach out to me saying, yeah, you're right. I've been on this drug for 5 years now. Why? They're telling me I can't come off of it. What's the solution? Well, the solution is you. The solution is you. It's going to be a hard battle. It's going to be very hard to
Oh,
fight.
no, 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 no. But we don't want to tell them that. We're not going to tell them it's going to be a hard battle. You know, the reality is this, there's tricks to the trade, okay? And understand something. If I put somebody on just even black diamond, black gold, have them do the ultimate coffee enema, okay, then guess what? You won't have the battle. Just remember, if you detox and you've got blockages in your body, you have to experience those blockages until the toxins actually get removed. So let's open up every portal. So you're not wrong, because it's going to be a hard battle for those people that don't know how to strategize. Okay, I am a master, and I can say this, probably I don't know what else, maybe nothing else, but I'm a master at detox.
Okay.
And last night I did what was called the Advanced Water Fasting show. Now, how is it that we can put people on a 6-day advanced water fast? And we already know that if people went on a water fast, most of them will bail because they can't get through of it, because of the headaches, the nauseousness, because of the poisons that are just being released. Because we can't just do a water fast today because people are so toxic. Or what if I told you that we have techniques that we can lock the toxins down so that they're not going to disturb the person, creating pain, inflammation, swelling, and suffering? Okay, we can lock those suckers down. As soon as the tissues give them up, we got it.
Okay.
And then that will be carried out of the body. So it's really important, because guess what, Chastity? When you went through drug detox, you had no support.
No.
You had the support of the system, because you didn't know. You thought that the support of the system was the only thing that was out there. You didn't know about that there was a quack named Dr. Wolf, Doc of Detox, that, you know, is going to tell you that, you know, ultimate coffee enema, therapeutic vomiting, clapping, okay, belly button therapy. All of these things are inexpensive. And if you knew how to do those at the time, it would have brought it, we could have brought it down by 80 to 90%.
Beautiful. No, I did not know that. I had no idea.
And guess what? So, and I'm going to say this, everybody that goes through the conventional route, okay, otherwise, the medical route for detox is going to stay dependent on drugs and is never going to actually be detox. Oh, if the medical system actually did a great detox on people, they would actually be shooting themselves in the foot. What do you think?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, they need us to keep coming back. They got to keep us sick. They got to keep us coming back. That's why every prescription that they have literally just creates more symptoms and creates more problems. And it's a rat race, on and on and on you go. So yeah, I agree 100%.
And remember this, they're so greedy. They want money. They just can't get enough. That's not true. That's not true. No, this is all to go towards transhumanism. Okay, so the people that you work with that are still addicted to either prescription drugs or street drugs, would you say that they're very clear about their thoughts? Would you say that they think highly of themselves, that they have value, that they have purpose, that they have passion, that they have energy?
No. No.
This is all a preparation to get everybody dumbed down enough to say, look at, you put this chip in your head, and guess what? This is going to give you peace, freedom from that terrible mind of yours, and it will help you create the bliss in your mind so that you don't have to seek out drugs and alcohol. We will look after your bliss point from now on. This is where it's, see, you have to look at the end thing, right? There's so many things going on that everybody thinks that, you know, Big Pharma is greedy. Well, guess what? The human beings that have shares in Big Pharma are greedy. But the people that you don't even know their names that are behind the curtains, they want transhumans, right?
Right.
That's what they're after. And actually, it's about bringing down the spirit. And this is why the Christians and a lot of other religions are pushing back now, because they can see it for the first time. They can actually see what's going on. We all talked about it. Don't take the chip or anything like that. So when we're talking about drug detox, everyone, we're talking about doing a show, drug detox, that's going to come on all levels: emotional, physical, okay, nutritional. And what if we had a show and a formula, okay, to actually help everyone? What do you think, Chastity?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I love that idea.
And everyone, just so you know, this is Chastity's second time of coming live.
Yeah.
And I'm here to support her, but I will only be a co-host. I will not be the host, because she has what it takes to have her own show. And that's why I asked her, would you like to have it? Because, we need her to do this.
Yes. Yes, I'm honored to do it. I have a lot to say, and I have a lot of things to say, and I have a big voice. So I'm honored to do that.
Yes, and we're honored to have you.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
anyways, we're going to talk about detox today. So why don't you kick it off if you want to ask me some questions and take me down the rabbit hole if you'd like.
Okay, great. So right now, I currently have a slew of people that have been either wrongfully prescribed a MAT med, which is like Suboxone, methadone. You hear that it's impossible.
Now, what I need you to do
Yes.
is every time you mention a drug or a name of a disease or disease, because there is no diseases, we're just out of alignment. But the reality is, I need you to explain exactly what the drug does, what its purpose is for, and give as much information behind it as possible. Because believe it or not, what comes natural to you, our listeners have no clue. They're busy doing their life. I don't know what you know, love. I don't even know 5%, 2% of what you know about this.
Yeah.
So I need you to look at me and everybody else on the show, is we know nothing.
Okay.
You gave us a name. Tell us what it does, why they put them on it, and what they promise them.
Okay, so basically, most people, they prescribe these pain pills and they build their tolerance up, and they're having to take more and more and more every day. So what they started doing is prescribing a opiate dependent called Suboxone or methadone. It has a longer acting, I'm not exactly sure the ingredient that's in it, but it's longer acting. And it stays in the system, so it's in the system a lot longer. And so you're not having it. And for a person who has a tolerance of pain pills, taking 10 plus a day, one Suboxone or one dose of methadone seems to be, it seems to be a lot easier than having to go the other route. But now, I'm hearing that people are placed on Suboxone or placed on methadone, which is, like I said, an opioid dependent that's supposed to last longer in your system. And now they're stuck. They were placed on it. I'm finding out they're placed on it for meth addiction. I'm finding out that the doctors are telling them that it's absolutely impossible. You'll never get off of it. This is a massive, massive problem. And
can I say something?
Yeah.
The doctor's not lying. And guess what? Because he was told the lie.
Yep.
So the doctor's not lying. So I want everyone to know that I don't want to make doctors the bad guys. I already told you that it's the people behind the 1,000 curtains that you'll never get to know, okay, that are pulling all the puppet strings all the way down. So we're not going to beat up on the doctors, but the truth is it's not true. Do you know how many times people come to me and they say, this is incurable, okay? This is impossible, and then within days we show them that it's not. And the reality is the doctor's not lying, and he's gonna go with that, and he's gonna believe that for a lifetime and understand. And if the doctor were to sway, the medical doctor were to sway and actually even admit that if that person came back and said, I thought you said it was impossible, and this happens every day for us. They go back to their doctors and he goes, oh my gosh, how did that happen? And right away, when they start to tell them, they just walk away, because you can't take the information in, because you can't share the information, and you cannot validate information like that or you're going to lose your license.
Yeah, I agree with you. But people need to understand how to get off of, like, take their power back. I'm trying to encourage people to just take their power back. You know, I know there are people that have to go to work and they have to take care of their kids. And when you come off of this drug, it's very difficult, or it can be. So we're just trying to find a solution, and see if I can't help a lot of people feel better about this process. They're fearful. And the first thing I try to tell people, that's the first thing you got to do, is eliminate the fear. Right? I get it. I totally get it. But first we have to start by eliminating the fear. It's totally possible. So I'm just, I'm honored to be able to advocate this, and hopefully, or I will be able to help many people find a solution to this problem, because it's massive.
And that's why it looks like we're coming together, Chastity and I. Because I'm going to show her what she doesn't know, and she's going to show me what I don't know, so we can come together and maybe make it a whole. Because I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter what the drug is. If you know how the organs function, if you know how detoxification works in the body, it's not as hard as you think. It's very difficult when you don't have the strategies and you don't have the tools. And anybody that's out there, the first place you want to start on a physical level, okay, is actually taking a look at the pdgfree.com guide. At least start reading about things and unmasking things. And then make sure that you join us. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually create a guide, okay? And it's going to have... can you tell everybody what the name of your show is going to be?
Unveiling Addiction.
And that's what the guide is going to be called. And in the guide, Unveiling Addiction, you'll be able to go in there and you'll be able to watch past shows that will actually be titled, so that you can find different things to help to support you. So between what Chastity's doing and with the physical and some of the emotional detox that I've been doing for 40 years, we're going to come together and create a program. And then this program will be given to everyone, and it will be given to them. I mean, you can take it further and get a consult, a paid consult, eventually from Chastity, and get support from her, or get one from us on a nutritional level, because a coach always helps. But if you don't want that, we will provide you the information so that you can start sowing a seed in here into the subconscious that you are not lost. You are not broken. You were programmed to believe you are. Chastity?
I love all of that. Yeah, taking our power back. It just fires me up just listening to you talk, People just have to remember that they hold the power within them. They are so programmed. We have all allowed societal programming to just bring us down and knock us down and drag us out. But no, we have the power. You hold it within you. It's so deep within you. You just got to pull it out. You're so worth it. You're so loved. So yeah, I feel everything you just said, Carol.
Can I share something with people? Just a little tip on starting out. Does everybody know that we have neurons, right? Brain cells. And they create programs. And does anybody know that a couple of years ago, they did studies and they found brain cells in the heart. And then they found out they weren't brain cells. They looked like brain cells, except they had a higher force field that they actually tested for. 40,000, that's approximate what we have, is 40,000 of these neurons that look like brain cells, but they vibrate higher and higher frequency. They tested them and they found out that they could not test the frequency, how far the frequency came off of these 40,000 brain cells. Please don't get me wrong, but I like to call that the God spot. And before I even heard that there was 40,000 brain-like cells, but that vibrate and give more light and energy off than anything else in the human body, I went, wow. And if you look at my work, I say, just put your finger on the God spot. You'll know right here. It's right here. You know, that's what I call the God spot. And when we do Wolf non-surgical, we use our elbow. We pull the scar tissue apart and the calcification around the heart because we build a wall around our heart because love hurts. Because we were taught that someone else was going to fill us up with love. They were going to care for us. Oh, come on. Every girlfriend and boyfriend at the first few days and few weeks, few months, oh my God, I'm just overflowing with love. But the reality is, it was the love that you had already inside of you, and that was triggered. They didn't give you nothing. That girl, that boy, that husband, that wife, that child gave you nothing. All they did was their frequency triggered what you already have. What if you didn't need someone else to trigger and have unconditional love for yourself? Well, that's what these cells are about. Understand, if you were to take everything from now on and never go to your mind first, it's a landmine. You always process through the heart. So every time, and the more fearful, the more trauma, the more doubt you have, you put this finger right here, okay? And you put it on, you go, God spot, or creator, or source. It doesn't matter. You could say, and please, I'm not disrespecting anyone, but the Krispy Kreme in the sky, I don't really care. You know, the reality is this, when you get back your intuition, and you get back your imagination, okay, and understand, and that you realize that you are the one of creation down here, and stop depending on anything else. You put your finger on your heart, on the God spot, and then guess what? You slow your breathing down. And then you take, ready? 4 seconds in and 6 seconds out. Did you know that you do that and then picture you filling up with just gratitude for everything? And the healing, okay? The healing, you're not going to ask to be healed. You're going to thank that for being healed. You're going to picture the way you want your life. And at the end of it, do you know what I do? I do this every day, 3 times a day, without fail. 3 minutes. You can go longer, but 3 minutes is what you need to do. And that's what they found will tune up and restore your immune system faster than any other known technique. Isn't that something? So finger on the God spot, which is those 40,000 neurons, okay, that shine brighter and have a frequency that they can't measure. And then you're going to slow your breathing down. You're going to put a slight smile on your face. You're going to bring in 4 seconds, and then you're going to go out for 6 seconds, okay? And then you're going to picture gratitude for everything, and you're going to focus on the life that you want. And then I always finish it off with this. Dear Creator, dear Source, dear God, whatever you want. And I go, listen, I know well that you know better than me. So I know that if you don't bring me what I want, you're going to bring something better. And if you think that's selfish, then you better bring up the value of what you're worth. Because you better bring up the value. I want to say this, everyone. I want you to take a look at your main core beliefs and find out if they've been based on guilt or being a sinner, because you're never going to heal. You're never going to get there. If you think that you can punch yourself in the face, okay, and lower your vibration, lower your frequency, because of some dysfunctional belief system that's been dragged through the centuries, and then actually maintain a beautiful, vibrant life, okay, all right? That's not going to happen. Cassidy?
Oh, yeah, definitely agree with you there. Yeah, you got to find the love. It's in your heart. It's definitely in your heart. And meditating regularly has helped me with that for sure. Brain and heart coherence, something that I learned about with Joe Dispenza. Happiness is you make it. Nobody can make you happy. Nothing can make you happy. You make yourself happy. And it took me almost 40 years to understand that. But once I understood that, my whole life changed. Once I became the warrior and thriver of my reality and not the victim of it, my whole life changed. You have to shift your perspective of where you're going in life and what you're doing and how, we've all been through it. Every single one of us has our own story, and we've all been through it. But it's never too late to take your power back and just and pull that warrior spirit from within you, and just, you have what it takes. It's just, that's how I feel about that.
It's never too late to change your story. And understand, that's the one big thing. The more trauma you've had, the more that you rely on that story to show why you're broken, the more broken you're going to become. It is an addiction. People will drag that story like toilet paper on the back of their shoe, why they're a drug addict, why they're overweight, why they can't get their act together. You have to rewrite your story. And I'm telling you right now, I call it a Braveheart Hero's contract. You sit down and you say this: if I was the master of my mind and I had unconditional love in my heart, filled right up, and I can decide exactly how I want my life, where I want to be, what I want to be, where I'm going, where I'm living, who I'm with, and what my main emotions are throughout the day, what would that look like? And then you write that. And then every morning, you do it in point form. You don't have this 20 pages. Don't go on and on about stuff. That's what we've been doing all our life. I got to go on and on and on, why I'm broken. No. Point form, the way you want to see it. Keep it succinct. And then guess what? Go every morning and look at that Braveheart Heroes contract, and every night for 33 days, and you're going to have a blueprint of your authentic self. And that's what you do. Look at repetition got you into some addiction, and there's many different types. We all know that. So repetition is going to get you into something higher vibrational. Listen, people go, Dr. Wolf, I have so much to work on. You know what? I've done so much wrong. I just have so much work to do. And I'm going, wow. Well, good luck. You need to live till you're 500 years old. Why don't you just focus on what you want in your life and don't tell yourself that this is going to be a big mountain to climb? And you know why you're going to tell yourself it's a big mountain? Because it's a big mountain for everyone that takes what? That takes what? The path that everyone else takes. So why don't you, don't take the beaten path. There is a clue there. You're going to get beaten. It's called the beaten path. So why don't you take the path less taken? Okay, so you know what we have? We have Broadway, which is, we know if you go to Broadway, it's all about fantasy, right? And Broadway is the way that everybody goes. Well, what about taking the narrow way where your family says, oh, that's a waste of money. Oh, that's a waste of time. Oh, really? You really think you can do it? Understand something. The majority of your family, the majority of your friends, the majority of the world are never going to agree with you when you're bringing your vibration up and you're making yourself into something. The day that you are a victim and that you are broken, you'll have everybody going, oh, that's just so bad. And then inside themselves, they're going, wow, I thought I was screwed up. Holy shit, I feel better now. Welcome to the real world, baby. Okay, what do you think, Chastity?
I get so wrapped up when you're talking and just get so fired up. I kind of lose myself, really. But I love your fire. It's super inspirational and it brings me fire.
It's not fire.
No?
It's not fire. You know what people say? It's not fire, it's truth. There's not a lot of it out there. And the reality is yes, I'm an actor, so I dramatize it. Well, guess what? Everybody else dramatize how it's the end of the world. So is it okay if I dramatize how it's just the beginning?
Nope. It's fine. I like your drama. I think it's great. I do think you bring fuel to the fire. You do encourage me and you do inspire me. I have a slew of people that need the inspiration. There's a slew. This Facebook page is doubling every single day. That goes to show you how many people are wanting to come together to try to find their power within them. So listening to you, it just inspires me so that I can turn around and help these people help themselves.
Make sure you call back and the boys will give you the link if you want to put it on your Facebook page of today's show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they can do that even before the show, give you the link. Okay?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. People need to hear it for sure.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. I mean, not what we're going to do. I have to, we're a team. Chastity, would you like to, the next show we do next week, would you like to take the time and walk through what we call the perfect day? And then I will tell you the different things on how we cleanse and purify and bring up the vibration of the tissue in different parts of the body and how we systematically do it. And then you can challenge me on those things, or we can see where all of this fits. Because understand something, we're dealing with drug addiction every day. Drug addiction is everyone. It just looks different with everyone. Because understand this, your personality creates your reality. Your belief systems create the so-called addiction. Think about this, Chastity. A person's belief system will choose their addiction. Okay, so what's my addiction? Stirring it up. What else? Well, I want to create a Braveheart nation all around the world. I want to touch the hearts of millions. So yes, I'm addicted to it. You're going to be addicted to something. I'm addicted to eating great food. I'm addicted to having my swim in the morning. I'm addicted to doing my nutraceuticals because guess what? You actually think that you're actually going to get most... see, drug addicted people are lower vibrational tissues, lower vibrational belief systems. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
But we're not going to get them well by sending them to the supermarket because there's only low vibrational foods at a supermarket. Even the organic foods, you can't ensure that the nutrition's actually in there. You cannot get well shopping at a supermarket. I tell all of my people that actually follow what I've been doing for years that you should take 40% of what you've been spending on the supermarket and get yourself high vibrational nutraceuticals, because if you don't have the minerals, if you don't have the fatty acids, if you don't have the amino acids, okay, if you're not getting the light and you're not getting the electrical energy into your body, what does it matter? You can just keep on eating forever if you'd like.
I love to hear it. Yeah, thank you for all of that. I really look forward to learning all of that from you so that I can turn around and help people. So yeah, thank you.
So what we'll do in the next show, if it's okay with you, we'll go through that.
Yeah.
I'll go through systematically, because understand something. The same way that I would detox somebody with a dis-ease, you will do 80% of that will be the same for anybody with any type of addiction. I want you to think about that.
Okay.
It is not different. You know what? It's like this. Right now, there are over 160 autoimmune diseases. No, they're not. There's no diseases. Disease means out of alignment. Those are only chronic symptoms because they went to a practitioner that didn't understand there's no chronic symptoms. There's actually no symptoms. There's just messages of love from your body saying, you're out of alignment and you are damaging us. And if we don't give any swelling or pain or stiffness or redness, you are going to kill us. Or you're going to mutate us to the point because you will have brought the oxygen levels down. And if you bring them down 35% within a cell, that is what they call cancer. So when you starve a cell of 35% of its oxygen for more than 3 days, it will turn into what they call a cancer cell, which is just stage 4 inflammation, that now has to live off of lactic acid and sugar. So the reality is, it's the lack of oxygen because it's the lack of minerals, which is the actual cell inside has become a swamp and the mitochondria have calcified. Take a look at anybody with an addiction and you will see that in the trouble areas of the body, even the brain, the mitochondria are calcified and they can't spin 2,500 times per second. So they can only spin 300 to 500 times per second, which means there's not enough energy. So the person feels they have no energy and they call that depression. Just like anxiety, okay, overheats the brain. And when the brain gets overheated, because it's nothing more than a computer that dispenses hormones and chemicals. That's it. That's it. I mean, it's got an important job, but don't give it any more credit than it's supposed to, okay? It will shut down because, first of all, it's a computer that runs programs. So what it'll do is the computer will shut down, and now we've got depression. And when we got depression, now we go into drug addiction, because now we're going to either take anti-inflammatories or we're going to take antidepressive meds. And like I said on another show, they did a major study that came out 2 years ago, and the only side effect of antidepressive meds is the thought of suicide. That's really cool. And anyways, so now we know that that is one of the main drugs that everybody's on. I forget how many people are on it. I think it was like, I'm probably wrong, but I think it was, let me think here. I think it was 80 million in the United States. 80 million people are on a drug, and the only side effect of it is actually thoughts of suicide, eventually. Okay, anyways, Chastity?
That's interesting because I'm actually reading a book. I forgot the name of it, but it actually goes into mental health and where all that was created. I'm trying to remember exact 1957. They had AMA or the pharmaceutical company. I can't remember, had $1 billion revenue in 1957 just on mental health pharmaceuticals alone. So that's interesting. You're talking about that. I also find it very interesting when you start going into cancer, and because I had my own journey with chemotherapy, and I find it very fascinating, all the information that you hold with that too. So I look forward to learning more about that topic from you.
And also, I'm going to tell you something. If you had chemotherapy, you need to do an advanced water fast. And guess what? You will go through a little bit. If you've had radiation or chemotherapy, just know that you still have the chemotherapy drug in you.
Right.
I believe the only way that you can get rid of that, you can get rid of it through juice fasting to a certain degree, but you will not, unless you kick in stem cell making and autophagy. Autophagy is eating up and disposing of the things that are going to kill you, and we get them out of the body. And I'm telling you right now, this is the one thing I tell everyone: go for your chemo if you believe you need it. Go for your radiation if you believe you need it. But once you've done that, just understand, and it's done its so-called job, okay? Then what you have to understand something is your cells store that. It doesn't come out easy. It is welded in there. And I truly believe that you have to do advanced water fasting to actually create enough energy to propel the monster out. And guess what? If you don't believe me, then why is it that only 2.3% of the people that get chemo are even around at the 5-year mark?
Yep.
Okay? Yep. All right, so I'm not trying to bash anything. I'm just trying to say that you've got to go in and get rid of that monster that you use to try to kill the cancer. That's it. So my philosophy is don't kill anything. Let's just love it and bring up the vibration, okay? But everybody has to make their choice. I'll have somebody coming to me and they go, well, I want to do this with them and I want to do this with you, and I'm just on. I say, sometimes you can't ride 2 horses. And then other times I'll go, yeah, if you're going to go do that, I would do this to help support so you don't lose all your hair and your teeth, and that you come out of this with some kind of immune system still. Because there has been no studies to actually prove, and the big one they always say is if you're doing chemo, you cannot do antioxidants, which are basically high vibrational nutraceuticals. And the reality is there's never been a study on this that is just what they say. So the reality is if you don't want to keep your teeth, your hair, and you don't want to protect your immune system, because understand, between chemo and radiation, it's going to annihilate the area of concern. So why don't you just try to just see if you can not destroy the rest of the body, and then have to try to come back from something, because your immune system is pretty important, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree with you more. I kind of conformed, So whenever you hear something like that, that fear porn, I I conformed, and I like a challenge, and I want to be the best version of me. So I look forward to doing the water, whatever it was that the water fasting.
It's called, yeah, it's called the 6-day advanced water fast. You can do it 1 day or 6 days. I had a gentleman who actually did it for 86 days. How's that? He lost 140 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, so the reality is last night was the first show we did. If anybody wants to see it, they can go to the Advanced Water Fasting Guide in docofdetoxlibrary.com. And tonight is the second show where I'm going to talk about the actual exercises and the actual strategies, internal and external. And that'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, everybody. Okay?
Perfect.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. This is no disrespect, but the medical system is not in health. They're not into health, and I'm not going to tell you what they're into if you can't figure it out. And then most natural health practitioners have actually been programmed to be too superficial, okay? Or they're just totally off the mark. The reality is this. I put a challenge out to every practitioner out there that you should be giving a money-back guarantee on your consultations and on your treatments. We do. And if you can't do that, you might want to go back to the drawing board. Because guess what? Back in Hippocrates' time, all right, the practitioner never got paid until the patient got well. And they would say, once you're well, you'll owe us this. And today, it doesn't matter. You can spend your money until the cows come home. And the reality is you're never getting any money back from anybody. But because I don't take the beaten path, we have the narrow path, and because marketing and media works that I'm a quack and everything I do is quackery, the reality is we need to show people that we are the real deal. We were here before the medical system. They only actually came up to being in the 1900s. And if you actually knew who was behind it, was Rockefeller was behind the whole medical system. The medical system, the AMA, was going bankrupt in 1910. They gave them $100 million and said, you will have more money than you can even dream of as long as you can shut down 110 universities and colleges in North America, and they did it in 10 years. And if you don't believe me, go to Medical Mafia and my docofdetoxlibrary.com. I spell the whole thing out. Chastity, how would you like to wrap it up today? And please let everybody know what your Facebook is and how they can get in touch with you. And then next week we'll come back and after that, then guess what? Then Chastity will be, I might be on, but I will only be her co-host because it's, you know, the reality is she has something to say.
Yes, I have a lot of things to say. If you know anybody that is fighting addiction, or just, you know, the most people that are on my platform on Unveiling Addiction Facebook page are fighting the opioid battle. They are kind of stuck on this opioid, and we're all coming together to try to help each other through it. And we will find a solution. The solution is you. But if you know somebody that's fighting, please come to that platform so that we're just kind of all coming together and working together over there. So just, some people are not anonymous. You don't have to have your name. You can be anonymous. That's okay too. But I'm trying to make people feel it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. People have addictions. Doctors have been wrongfully prescribing this shit. Like, it's time for us to take our power back. I apologize for that.
No, don't apologize. You know, SHIT is fine on this show. And understand something, it's real. And don't apologize. It's okay. And if they can't handle that, oh my gosh, they're going to be in big trouble with the rest of the shows. So, you know, the reality is, everyone, is this. Get them on drugs and then humiliate them, okay, and berate them and make them feel that they don't belong on this planet. And guess what? You all belong. I don't care who you are, what your addiction is. I love you. I unconditionally love you, okay? All right? Just know this. You are not hated. You are loved. And you may hate yourself because of this, but understand something. We have all been going down that slippery path of addiction sometime in our life. And I am nobody to judge. Thank you very much. I am to observe and then to serve. Observe and serve. Or shut your mouth, Daryl.
I love it. Sometimes all somebody needs is just genuine love and support to find that love within themselves. So,
But they don't need victimization stroking. And understand
no.
something. I'm going to say this. This show was never going to stroke anyone. It's going to be okay. It's going to be... No, you need to take massive personal action, and you need to focus and practice the mirror work and looking yourself in the face and telling you that you're beautiful and I love you and I'm going to protect you. I'm going to respect you. Okay? And that's what you need. You just have a personality disorder, and the disorder is you were taught that you're not worthy and you're worth everything. And if you can get yourself to buy in that you are the most precious thing on this planet, damn it, you'll own it. Cassidy?
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, the power is within you. You hold the key, you hold the power. Not your best friend, not your doctor, not your nurse, it's you. And it's in there. So I couldn't agree with you more, Daryl.
Yeah, from ice cream to heroin, okay? All right? These are drug addictions.
That's right.
All right? So we want to be able to come together and know that we invite everyone, that it doesn't matter what the addiction is. Like right now, she's focused on opioids and she'll stay there. But the reality is the platform for detoxification in the human body is going to be exactly the same for everything. It is the same for everything. Do you know what? We were actually put in our heads that every addiction needs a different program. It doesn't. Your body needs unconditional love and a strategy on how to work from the bottom up and the inside out, and how to bring in higher vibrational things to kick out the lower vibrational things, and that's it. Cassidy?
I'm in resonance with everything you said. I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay, all right.
Rid of the low vibration, anchor in the high, anchor in the light.
How do I get in touch with you? What's your Facebook called?
Unveiling Addiction.
Unveiling Addiction on Facebook. Okay.
That is correct.
Pardon?
That is correct.
Okay, very good. Okay. Is there anything you want to leave them with?
If you are fighting addiction, just be gracious with yourself. It's okay. You're going to get through it. I promise. So just love yourself, be patient with yourself. You know, it can be a bit of a process, but you got it.
And we're going to give you so many tips and so much to do, you know, to learn how to love yourself again. You did it when you were a baby. You did it until you were probably 2 or 3 and you started walking and talking and acting like everybody else. There's a problem. But anyways, we'll work on that too. Okay? Thank you, Chastity.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. Now, everyone, I want to thank you for joining us. And you know what? Get in touch with Chastity. Go on her Facebook page. You know, maybe, you know, let her know what you're thinking. Maybe make suggestions on, or let her know who you are and find out where you can get help, right? All right, can we bring up the slides, please? Okay. Okay, everyone, I just want to go to the very end slide today. I don't want to keep anyone. And, oh, here we go again. Thank you for your patience, everyone. And there it is. Okay? I'm going to let you read it. You read it if you want to read it. And I just want to say, have the best day of your life. God bless.